anyway, since I been taking the vitamins that I shared with y'all, I took them yesterday and I took them today. I've actually been feeling very stable. So they definitely work. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the fish oil and the vitamins that's helping too, because I don't think the caffeine really helps with any emotional or mental stability or anything. I know that like fish oil is encouraged for like healthy, brain health and stuff. So fish oil is in the capsules that I had shared. And the whole day yesterday when I took them, I just felt great. Like I just felt fine. I was not having any emotional meltdowns. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't sad. I felt really normal. So what I'm on here is to not really correct, because how Sister Kataya was saying on the last vlog when she commented that it was spirits, when I was sharing about the whole mental illness thing, and I got upset. Hey Nisha. I got upset because I don't feel like it's just spirits. I feel like it's a lot of other it's a lot of other things that can be responsible for somebody's mental illness. Although spirits could be the main thing responsible, there's still other stuff you want to look at, like the topic of fragments is still very much relevant. So, as I shared with y'all, I am a seer. So when I dream, I don't dream regular dreams. I see into the spirit when I sleep, which means that if I'm being harassed, I don't have any peace. But I have a lot of spiritual monitoring dreams, which means that I just pretty much see. When I go to sleep, I see behind the veil, so to speak. It could be about other people and their lives, but more than likely it's my own life and the spirits that are operating in my life. So I dream about them every single night. And I see what they're doing behind the scenes. Whatever my actions are, submitted to the Lord or submitted to something else, I dream about it. It's like constant updates of where I am spiritually. And interestingly, I dreamt about my aunt and my cousin, her daughter, which are two figures that are commonly used to represent the Jezebel spirit, which that's why I was wondering. I said, I wonder what that means if they're together, because that's not the same spirit, then that's two different spirits. But um, I noticed that the dynamic with these spirits that I always term as generational spirits that I commonly see, I was embracing them in the dream. And just embracing in the sense of like I was treating them like family. It's a constant just regression, constant resubmission. Anytime I dream about these people, it's always stuff like that. So like we're in the mall together. I think I went to the Mac section in the mall. I was getting makeup put on my face. Um, Going to the movies with them in the dream, and I even gave my aunt a hug. I never hugged that spirit in any of my dreams, and in this one last night, I was hugging her. And when I woke up, I felt the impression in my spirit from the Holy Spirit. He gave me the understanding of what the dream meant. It definitely was emphasizing how I was embracing the spirits. This is not just the typical you being harassed by them, or they're oppressing you, or they're attacking you and trying to bring you back under subjection. I strongly felt that I was embracing them. And when he said that, he basically revealed to me that I was embracing them by embracing this mental illness or embracing them as such. And of course I had to humble myself, and that's why I say it's not really correction, because I never really denied that mental illness was due to spirits. I just don't think it's just spirits. I think if you look at it that way, you're not really gonna be able to offer somebody complete healing and deliverance, because you definitely need to arrest and take care of the spirits, do whatever warfare is necessary, but then after that you have some more work to do. But that's what he revealed to me. I could feel that the comfortability I had with the spirits in the dream, the way I was just embracing them like family, that it was very much connected to how I'm embracing the concept of mental illness in general. And I think what the Lord is doing, I think he wants us to see like, yeah, it is mental illness. That's how the spirits are manifesting as far as what they're doing in your life, but he doesn't want you to see it as that, or he doesn't want you to treat it like that. He obviously wants you to deal with the real source, which is these spirits right here. And I didn't think about it, but I don't know if y'all remember in the past, I always spoke about the two main spirits in my life that have been oppressing me since forever, since I can remember. It's just it's two particular witchcraft spirits. I know one of them for sure is Jezebel. I do not know that other spirit's name. I've seen it so many times. I've encountered the spirit. It's a lot darker than Jezebel. I think it's stronger than her too. But I don't have a name for that spirit. I have no idea what that spirit's name is. I probably would have to fast and ask the Lord to reveal to me what the heck is that spirit. But I've seen it. It's taken the form of a leopard, of a jaguar, of a black cat, just a lot of different forms. But I just found it very interesting that it was those two figures or two symbols that I was embracing as my aunt and my cousin. And I woke up and I said, no, there's those two witchcraft spirits, responsible for the mental stuff that you deal with. So that's what I felt from the Lord. I felt from Him. So I do have to correct myself in a sense, not taking away from everything that I've said and that I've shared. I think it's important for you to share mental health and mental illness issues with people. But I think He doesn't want me so focused on like the mental illness part to where you're just completely neglecting the spiritual reality of what's taking place and who's responsible for why you're dealing with that crap in the first place. Because if you just handle treatment for the mental illness, which is just the result of what the spirits are doing in your life, they're going to stay there comfortable. And that's probably what they want us to do. They probably just want us to accept that it's mental illness, especially for people who aren't trying to fix it at all. There's people who are addicts or they deal with certain types of sexual perversion or, mental illness, and they don't seek any treatment. They just accept it as, oh, this is who I am. This is how I'm just going to be. And those spirits are going to stay right there very comfortable because you're submitting to them by default. You can submit to a spirit, not really willfully or intentionally, but just by not doing anything. You're not opposing them. You're not telling them they can't be there, that they have to leave. So when he spoke to me about that after I had the dream, I was like, I didn't like it, to be honest, because I'm just tired. And I told the Lord that He knows it's true. I feel like I've been fighting my whole life, like my whole walk. It's just been this obsession or just this, just consciousness of these spirits. I know they're there. I, for me, I just feel like up to this point, I haven't been successful in getting deliverance. I haven't been successful in fighting them. Anytime I attempt to, they take over me and I can't even do that. So I don't care. Not that I don't care. I kind of scoffed at the revelation, to be honest with you, because it's like He's redirected me from focusing on the mental illness part to focusing back on them. And I'm like, I can't fight them. So that's what I've been talking about. That's what I've been trying to do for years. And I still have not done it. I was successful in getting them to leave one time. And I could feel the shift. It was in 2017, early 2017. And it was only because I asked the Lord to give me a dream about my mom. I think I was at my desk one day and I was just praying. I was talking to Him. I just genuinely wanted to know from Him, how did she end up like this? Because she didn't used to be like this years ago. She used to be normal. She used to be a loving, warm, caring parent. And now she's like this reprobate, mentally ill, I don't want to say retarded, but yeah, just Jezebel, just disgusting, narcissistic, entity. And like when I compare my mother, I don't even want to call it my mother. She's not today. I don't have a mother. My mother's dead, in all honesty. So when I compare how she is today to how she used to be when I was a child, that's two completely different people. So I think that day I was just genuinely asking the Lord to reveal to me, how did she end up like this? Like, what happened? And He gave me a dream that night. Oh, and I also asked Him to show me, because I was under heavy demonic pressure at that time too. And I was asking Him to show me the spirits that I'm dealing with. Like, Lord, I just want you to, I want to see behind the veil. Like, what the heck is this? Like, what is coming against me? And He gave me a dream that night. The first part He showed me was my mom. Um, and he showed me that her second marriage, the second husband that she was with, who she's divorced from now, there was a time when I was 15 where this man, like, he used to drug deal. He was, I honestly don't know why she got with him. Like, no disrespect to him, but he used to drug deal. He was like really hood, or just especially living in Orange, Texas. People in Orange are just really ghetto, just kind of that type of thing. And she got with him for whatever reason. And There was one day where they had an altercation, and I think I was trying to defend my mom that day, and I was 15, and I said something to him, like mouthing off because I didn't have respect for him to begin with. And he said, I think he said, shut the F up, bitch, something like that. Or I don't know if he said shut the F up or if he just said shut up, B. And the Lord showed me in the dream that when that happened, that it fragmented my mom, or that really affected her. I guess when she witnessed him call her daughter, he called me a bitch basically. And I was like, well, that's interesting. So the Lord did show me that a part of her, I guess what's turned into this weird, however that spirit got access to her, it's generational, of course. You can't ignore that part, but I guess the Lord's just showing me what really opened the door was that wound. I was like, okay, I guess she does care. Or she did care about me. She doesn't now at all. But at that time, I guess that really affected her, maybe fragmented her to some degree. And the Lord told me that that wound, that really, really messed with her when he did that. And then after that, he showed me her. And another thing, I noticed that when he was showing me my mom, she had the long, medium brown, um, medium length hair again, which is how I usually see her in the dreams where it's me and her together when I see the old residences and stuff. So I know what that's symbolic. I don't know what that's about. It could be one of her fragments, to be honest with you, because I think that's interesting that I keep seeing her like that. And the next thing he showed me was I saw my mom, and she was on the floor, and she was like balled up on the floor. Not balled up, but you know how like you're sitting and you have like your arms like around your knees, and she was like rocking back and forth like mentally ill. Insanity. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw her was insanity. And she was like, I don't want to do it, but she had her tongue. She was just doing her tongue like, all around like perversion. And my mom has always been like that ever since I can remember when I was a child. She was always that mom that like whenever we were growing pubic hair or breasts as women, she would like make jokes about it. And it was all we knew, so you couldn't really like see it as inappropriate. I just always saw it as my mom like being goofy. She was always like this silly, uh not promiscuous, just I don't know a word to give her. Just freaky, like I don't know. My mom has a really, well, she had a really big, outspoken, funny personality. Like she was just silly. And my aunt is like the complete opposite, to her. They're two completely different people. But so she always just kind of had like that perversion about her, and she was doing that in the dream. Like her tongue, I think she was like licking like her arm and just over her body, and she was like rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth. And I could feel that she was like retarded, like, and I discerned a spirit of insanity, but it was like retardation too. And I remember when I saw her, I was confirming like within my spirit, like, okay, well, that's what I discern about her now in real life. It's like mental illness. So the Lord confirmed it in the dream that he was showing me when I asked him, like, how did she end up like this? Like, what the heck is wrong with her? So I guess what he was showing me is what happened with that guy, for one. I believe in general, when it comes to how my mom ended up, to be what she is today, it's been more stuff, but that's what the Lord gave me, so that's what I believe. That had something to do with it. And it seems like he was showing me that she always had a spirit of insanity in her life. She always had a spirit of perversion. Um, and just retardation, mental illness. And today, that's actually what she is. She's gone. Um, she is. She's dead. My mother is gone. So I saw that, and I said, okay. So I was my real self, and it wasn't a vision. It was a dream. I was my real self. So I took like her hand, and I was gonna pray for her because I was thankful that the Lord answered me that night, and He showed me like what the issue was. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to pray for her in the spirit. So I grabbed her hand, and I think I can't remember because this was like almost 3 years ago, but it was pretty much along the lines of how I would start off any prayer. I probably started binding the spirits first, and I was gonna pray over my mom for her salvation. And as soon as I started praying, she took my arm and she like grabbed my arm really tight. And the way she did it, you could tell like it was a demon that did it. And I remember like being confused. I couldn't tell in the dream, like, okay, was that her that stopped you? I kind of felt like this mix of she stopped you from praying because she doesn't really want to be saved. It's like she knew what you were doing, And the way I was gonna go in, I felt the anointing in the dream, it would have broke some stuff off, and I kind of felt like this mix between her stopping me, like her heart didn't really want to be, free or want to be saved like that, even though she was dealing with that insanity and all that stuff that I saw, and then I felt like it was a demon that was stopping me. The way she grabbed my arm, it wasn't like a human type of clutching. It was like a grabbing me to stop, and it was like a very like firm, like quick, like something that would like if you were praying over somebody for deliverance and the demon manifested and it like it would kind of like startle you. It was like that. And what I felt from the demon, I felt that it had some legal right, and it was very dark. It was very aggressive. It couldn't harm me, but you know how you can just feel the nature, the heart of a spirit. It scared me. I'm being complete, and this is in a dream. Well, I should say in the spirit, it scared me because of what I felt when it did it. I could feel that it wasn't her that grabbed my arm like that. It grabbed me to stop me from praying, and I felt that when it did it, it was because it had some legal right, and it was kind of like you don't have a right to be doing what you're doing because she wants me here, type of thing. And I was like, and the dream ended. It ended just like that. So then maybe I think my part may have come first then, because I do remember that the dream actually ended with her. And he answered my prayer as far as him revealing to me what the heck spirits I was dealing with. Mine was a lot more extreme. The first spirit, because y'all know I used to have my dresser before I left home. I had my dresser with the mirror piece, the black dresser, and everything. I was in my room in the dream, and I was pinned on my floor. I had spirits or witchcraft or something surrounding me to where I was like bound to my floor and I couldn't get up. And I hate roaches, y'all. Like I hate insects. And there were like roaches just crawling like all around, like the floor, like all around me. And I was like trying to get up, like, oh heck no, like let me get off this floor. Like I could feel the demonic presence, but I also didn't like that part. So I'm like trying to get up, I couldn't get up. And I saw this huge demon, and I could tell that's not what the demon really looked like. It was a familiar demon. It felt like the one that I don't know its name, but it took form and it was like a huge gorilla like looking spirit. And what was it doing? It was I don't know if it was hovering over me, but it was doing something specific that I cannot remember anymore. I think I actually made a video about this already, to be honest, but but the point was like I asked the Lord to show me what I was dealing with because I was dealing with heavy demonic oppression, the same stuff I still deal with today, except I don't really experience oppression anymore. Um, but I saw what it looked like, and when I tell y'all it startled me, I I'm thankful. Like it really encouraged and added faith, to me and my spirit that the Father really does hear us when we pray. Because there's times that I ask Him to show me stuff and He doesn't do it. And then there's times like this where I ask Him to show me something and He does it that same night, exactly like what I prayed. And that demon looked so, I can't even, we live in a third dimensional world. There's like, fourth and fifth and sixth dimensional creatures that we wouldn't even be able to perceive and really understand if we experienced it here. So when you see it in a vision, it's more startling. And I guess what really was emphasized to me was not so much what it looked like, because to be honest, it's just like a huge gorilla guardian type of, demon, but it was what I felt. It was very strong. It was very powerful. I could tell that this spirit in my life, because he was showing me what had always been there, what I was dealing with. I was not expecting that because I remember when I was experiencing it, I said, why am I dealing with something like that? Like, where did that even come from for it to be that, like I know Jezebel's there, but what is this? And I could feel like it was like a witchcraft spirit, like a strong, just powerful, just big, like, you know. And then after that, it shifted into I was sitting on my bed in my mirror, my black dresser that y'all are familiar with. In my mirror, I was looking into it. And I was just sitting there and I was looking at my reflection and I started to get really uncomfortable because and I don't know if y'all ever done this before, just like, look in the mirror at your own reflection and maybe start spazzing out in your mind and I don't know. I I started to get uncomfortable because I started to feel like something else was there in the reflection. And sure enough, as I was picking up on that, it was true. Because as I was sitting on my bed looking in my mirror in the dream, um, I turned my head. I didn't move. My reflection in the mirror, she was looking at me, I was looking at myself. It turned its head like this and it got up off my bed and started walking. When I tell y'all, that scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh my God. Like, I mean, to this day, I never sought the Lord about what that meant because He answered my prayer and showed me. I just thought that it was just witchcraft related because I'm like, what else could that possibly be? At first, I thought that it was like, I said, well, it could have just still been one of the witchcraft spirits, if not the same one, but took on your form and probably just to scare the crap out of you. But then at the same time, well, the dream is from the Lord. It's not really, it wasn't a demonic attack. So He showed you that for a reason, but I don't know what that means. And it was real. This was not a dream the Lord gave. It was like one of those vision, impression, like you're experiencing it in the spirit type of dream. So it wasn't like a dream. But yeah, I was sitting on my bed and I was looking at my reflection in the mirror, just kind of sitting there. And she was just, I have to say she because it got up and moved, but just staring at me. In a way to where, let's say, like if we were demon possessed and you're looking at your reflection, you could feel like something else is there with you and you're not looking at yourself, something's looking back at you. That's what it felt like. And when I picked up on that, that's when I turned my head, the reflection turned its head and got up off my bed without me moving. So, and once again, I just felt like just darkness. I just felt witchcraft, 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 like some type of just strong gothic, like, type of. So the part he showed me about me was a lot more severe than what he showed me about my mom. My mom, he just kind of like, I guess he showed me what he wanted to show me. Like you asked how she ended up like this or what was responsible: spirits of insanity, mental illness, perversion, which I could feel when he showed the perversion part, like when she was licking herself and being nasty and freaky and stuff. Like it was confirming that that was something she was in agreement with. So it wasn't just like it just took over her. She was in agreement with a lot of the stuff, but I did feel the mental illness and the retardation part. She had always dealt with it all her life. I didn't know that until he showed me. And she couldn't really do anything about that. And she wasn't really a spiritual person, so she couldn't really fight it even if the Lord did show her something like that. So he answered my prayer and showed me. So I was like, okay, so basically your mom, she's your mom, but it's kind of like she was dealing with the same stuff you're dealing with now. Like she's fragmented. She's she has a very childlike mind actually due to the retardation that she deals with today. And it's unfortunate that Jezebel's just pretty much just ripped this person to shreds and she's fully demon possessed like today. She is a narcissist. And from the dreams the Lord gave me, she's full of several different spirits. Before my mom actually became reprobate, when I was a baby Christian, he used to give me dreams about saving her. Um, he used to give me dreams showing me the multiple different spirits that she had. There was like seven different ones. One of them was depression. One was bipolar. It was like so many different spirits. I guess when he was still working with her and wanted to help her before it got to the point where they just took over her, I guess. One particular spirit, it was me and her and some, I don't want to say witches. It wasn't that. It was just, I remember that there was this weird kind of like graveyard scene. And this is like when I used to stay with my grandmother. Like this was years like ago. And there was like this altar, like a gray gravestone type of looking thing. And there was some witch there. I didn't understand at the time dreams. I was a babe, so he was still dealing with me as a seer, but I didn't understand like everything I was seeing. But I remember I was with my mom and it was surrounding my mom and I was trying to deliver her from demons. But there was like a witch there who was like doing this weird, it was something weird that she was doing. And I remember the Lord just giving me like 7 to 8 different spirits that my mom was dealing with. Like, and I would tell her the dreams, she just would, she was still, um, she wasn't like she is today. So I think when I told her, to be honest, I've literally just watched my mom slip away over the years. When I was 15, when I first got saved, I had the Lord give me, baby dreams. Like one of the dreams was me and my mom. Um it was supposed to represent the rapture, so to speak. And there was like a small remnant of Christians who was actually going with him that were his genuine people that were getting on a plane, and I was one of them. And there was a whole other group of people, they didn't really care. They weren't trying to get on the plane to leave and escape. And my mom was there. I'm like, Mama, come on, let's go, let's get on the plane. I'm trying to, get her to come to Christ. And I remember in the dream she was just looking like she was walking with me, but she didn't really want to be a part of it like that. It wasn't really in her heart, and she was just kind of just doing this like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Like I don't know. I don't know if I want to. And I was confused because like I'm 15, so I'm like, what do you mean you're not ready? This is Jesus. Like I was like, get on the freaking plane. Like let's go. So he was even showing me like he wasted no time when I first got saved, just dealing with me in the spirit and stuff. And I remember that night I actually got up. I woke up from that dream, went to my mom's room, and I started praying over her, and she actually woke up. So I'm not at home anymore, but I know a lot of people still like to defend her when I talk about her. When I say my mom is reprobate, she's done. There actually was a period where the father was trying to deal with her. He was convicting her, and he was using me even. A lot of my relatives, when I had dreams about them, I would tell them the dreams. So it wasn't like they just didn't know, they know this stuff. Um, so I guess maybe he just answered because he knew I was just genuinely curious. I just wanted to know what the heck is going on with her, like what's wrong with her, like why is she just wicked like this now? And I guess he just wanted to show me, honey, your mom is gone. Like what you're dealing with is just spirits, and that's it. As far as her still being a core person, those demons are eating that up. If they haven't already eaten her mind up and stuff, that's not even her that you're dealing with. But for me, like I said, what I share with y'all, I asked him to show me what the heck am I dealing with? Because I think that was around the time I was like making all the crying vlogs to y'all and just under oppression. And I was like, what is this? And he showed me. And I was just like, I remember that when I woke up, I actually regretted asking him to show me because it was just something deeply, it was spiritual. It wasn't like, I think we have our own idea of what demons look like and what things are like, and it's different when you ask the Lord to show you something. He can see what the heck is actually going on. He doesn't let us see that. So when you pray, hey Lord, show me this, and he shows you, it just scared me. And I was just wondering, why is something like that attached to me? How did that even get here? Like, I'm a Christian. I'm here doing YouTube videos, I'm ministering to other people, but I keep coming under this dark, like, whatever the heck this is. And I guess he just showed me what it was, and I didn't do anything about it after that. I didn't know what to do. Well, after this, because actually when I woke up, I actually woke up from praying, trying to pray with my mom in the dream. I woke up and was trying to continue what I started in the spirit. So I actually went to her room after this dream, and I shared the dream with her. And she just said it was confirmation for something. And of course, my mom was there for my history with being in my little gothic phase. So I shared my part, with her that he showed me. And this is 2 years ago. So she's still disobedient. She's still reprobate. So she had the look of false concern on her face when I was sharing it. I guess because he went ahead and showed me that maybe I had hopes that if I told her something deep like that she would repent or something. So I actually prayed with her. I prayed over her that day, and I prayed over myself. That was the only time I really aggressively commanded those spirits to leave. I was 25, I remember, because as soon as I felt them actually leave, it was strange because for the first time I felt 25 years old. I cannot even explain it. Before that, and how I normally feel, I just feel very childlike, very like arrested development. But when I commanded those spirits to leave, I felt my actual age. I could feel that a lot of the stuff that's normally attributed to me, it was gone. Like that was never really you. For her, it didn't do anything. And I'll just end that there. It didn't last though. They came back, obviously. So that just ties into what I was just talking about when I first started this video. For the Lord to basically just show me in the dream that you're embracing these spirits by accepting the mental illness. And that's not what he wants me to do. You can't just ignore or pretend like you don't know where this is coming from. They've always been here. This is really what you're dealing with, these two spirits right here. And the way I see it is just like, I don't know how to fight them. I don't even know who they are. I know one of them, which is Jezebel. I'm very familiar with Jezebel. This other one, that huge, strong, dark power, I've seen it so many different times in dreams. It's taken many different forms. It feels like something that came in when I was messing with witchcraft and stuff when I was younger. Because I was a kid, I didn't know any better, but I was, opening doors and stuff. It feels like a spirit like that. Like it's connected to the goth and the darkness and the Satanism type of thing. That's what it feels like every time I encounter it. But I feel like in order to really get some real sealed in instruction from him on how to specifically deal with this spirit, um, I feel like I would have to fast, but that's the thing. I can't fast because they're here. And I literally feel remote controlled. Not to mention the altars and stuff that I'm dealing with. So it's not even just the spirits themselves, it's the fragments too. I don't know how much they have control over, except for what I've already shared with y'all. Is that whenever I try to fast, whenever I try to read, or whenever I just really try to press in to take care of the issues the Father has faithfully shown me, this is what it is. I just switch. I just mentally switch. I do something else, or they just do it's a weird mood, swing, if you want to call it a mood swing. I just end up just not doing anything that I intended to do. So they obviously have more control than. So it's just like, I mean, I don't want to scoff at the Father, but it's just kind of like, well, I just feel like I've been dealing with this for so many years. I'm just tired. Like it's not even like I don't see what it is or that I don't know what it is. It's just I don't know how to fight that. You're not helping me fight that. You haven't sent me anybody to help me fight that. I don't mind fully surrendering and giving my life over to the Lord and doing exactly what He's called me to do, which is some heavy duty stuff. I don't mind any of that, but I can't even get past this phase of self deliverance, you know? So I'm so used to seeing them in dreams. I'm just like, it's a crazy thought because with everything that I know and everything that I've taught, or I should say that I've shared with y'all, which, yeah, through teaching, if I just stop fighting, that is submission by default because that gives them a legal right to just nobody, they're not really being opposed. They don't have authority or power stronger than them to make them stop what they're doing. They're obviously, determined for whatever. I don't know what the assignment is specifically, other than I shared with y'all how they've constantly tried to lure me into the occult. That is a reality. Maybe they're trying to do that. Maybe they're hoping I do just give up and I'm just like, screw it. Like, I can't fight this. You know how they say you can't beat them, join them, type of thing. I've had that thought cross my mind because I'm just like, I would never turn against the Lord in my heart, but it's so stressful. Nobody else is dealing with this kind of demonic oppression, and it makes you just want to give out. And it's like whatever happens to me just happens, which obviously you know what would happen. They would just consume you, entirely. And I've even had the Lord show me in dreams, like if I was to just turn away from Him and go in whatever direction, He's actually shown me what my life would be like and what I would go into. So, I'm not motivated to fight that. I mean, He would have to do something different or give me specific instructions or I don't know. But there's nothing here. It's just me. And I don't know how to fight that. I don't even know what it is. I mean, I can ask Him again tonight and see if He'll show me, especially that spirit. I don't need any info on Jasmine. I know her and what she's doing, but it's just this one. I'm like, what the heck is that demon? I need to ask him more about that. Like, where the heck did it come from? And what is it here for? Like, how do I fight that one? That's the main powerful one. Because I can feel that it's more powerful than she is. So, yeah, so he basically showed me, like, the spirits are responsible for the mental illness. You can treat it as mental illness, but if you do that, they're going to stay right there, comfortable. And that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to fight them. They want you to have some superficial treatment or some type of band aid. And so I dreamt that, and he basically showed me you're embracing them. You're basically accepting and letting them stay there because you've chosen to fight it this way instead of fighting it in the spirit. And I'm like, well, you ain't helping me fight it in the spirit. So, I mean, I've been fighting. I've been, oppressed. I've been vlogging about the same stuff repetitively for years and nothing is getting done. So, and the one time, like I just shared with y'all, that I actually did pray, I was praying really hard that day with my mom. And I was like praying over her, and then I prayed over myself, and I was commanding them to just leave. They left, but it lasted like a few days. So that's my thing. I've experienced that, okay, so you can get rid of whatever that spirit is, but it's so powerful. Why it's attached to me, I don't know, like that strongly, but I mean, now we're talking about maintenance. How do you maintain that deliverance? Because obviously they came back. Maintaining that kind of deliverance, I would say, is equal to someone coming out of Satanism. Think about all the demonic spirits attached to people who are in the occult. Let's say successfully get those demons cast out. They're saved, they get free, they get some relief. Those demons are not going to just stay away like that. They're going to keep coming back. They're going to keep trying to reclaim that person. And that's what I feel like I'm dealing with. Except it's just that one big spirit. I'm glad it's not more. If it is, I don't ever see, anything or any spirits stronger than just those two that I consistently see for years. Not saying that there's not other lower, spirits, but so realistically, someone coming out of the occult, even if they became a brother or a sister in Christ, um, you would need a Christian community. You would need like a powerful group of believers to help you maintain your deliverance coming out of something like that. Because they're going to come up on you, they're going to bully you. They're going to reclaim you. They're going to put you back under the oppression, and you're going to go back to your old ways. And you're going to come back under mental illness, and you're going to, all the stuff that they've birthed in your life, they're just going to keep doing it over and over and over and over again because you're not strong in and of yourself to resist them. And that's just a reality. You will need a spouse. You're going to need a sister or a brother, a group of people, but maybe not even just one person. You need multiple people, you know. So, I don't know. My mood is just, I feel like the prophetess in me, like I want to fight. Like I don't believe, I'm not here to submit to no spirits, no unclean spirits. Like, but it's just like, I feel like this has just been a war against my soul for so many years. It's just kind of like, well, what am I gonna do differently than what I've already done that hasn't done anything? He would have to do something different. I don't mind cooperating with him for my salvation. I'm just over it. I'm just kind of tired. Like, I am at a point where I feel like I still have some fight in me, but not enough to even try to fast and go into. I'm not doing all that just to keep falling over and over again, you know. Especially feeling how powerful that freaking thing was. I've seen it several times. Um, so so yeah, you're basically just here to just kind of stay prisoner to whatever that is and keeping you under this subjection to number one, your freaking mind. That's what they want, the mental illness. It's just that's just one of the other things that I deal with. I think they're responsible for a lot of different stuff. So I just I don't even pray to him anymore. I just feel like I've asked him for help in so many different ways. I've prayed so many different things, and it's just like I feel like he's just given me this list of responsibilities, and he's exposed all these dark covenants and all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. If I had help, sure, no problem, would go forward with it 100%. But by myself, no, I'm tired. I mean, it's a sucky thought to think of actually backsliding and just letting them have their way, do whatever the heck they want to do, take you back to makeup and take you back into, I don't know, maybe lead you into the occult. I don't know. Like I was just thinking yesterday, like I'm really tired. Like there's a part of me, like my heart is so far from the Lord right now. Not extremely, but it's just dealing with this level of demonic attack and how much power they have over your life and your personal mental health. It's like, yeah, you have the power in you to combat them, but it's not that simple. You do need, depending on what spirit you're dealing with, you need multiple people with that same power. You need multiple Christians, not just you, especially if they have that much control over you. So I was just entertaining the thought yesterday, sadly, because I personally can't ever see me doing this, you know? Um, Maybe if I got really tired enough, but just like actually saying screw it all, just forget it. Forget the Torah, forget everything. Like just kind of honey, I'm going to experience freedom the best way I know how. Okay? And I obviously it seems like the harder I try to press into spiritual waters, the harder I try to submit to the Lord, the harder I try to really just do everything the way I've learned to do it that he's been teaching me, it just gets more dry, just more it is very tiring. And to be honest, not that the Lord wants any of us to fall away. I think he would get it. Not understand the sense of like accepting it, but it's just like when you have that kind of warfare against you, everybody's not dealing with that. That's not everybody's, cross. Some people that is their cross, and then some people have a bigger one. You will walk away from the faith because it's like you're trying to get closer to the Lord and you're trying to submit, you're trying to fight back, but you just keep getting slapped back on the floor. And it's like at some point you get tired of that. And you're just like, screw it. I can't fight whatever this power is. I'm just gonna not submit to it willfully, but just kind of just stop. And if you stop fighting, they do have their way with you. They're gonna do what they want to do. So, and I think it's interesting that they came in the guise of my relatives, my aunt and my cousin. So I said, okay, so it looks like they're generational spirits. I mean, if they're coming in that form, they have to be, but it's just like, that's obviously what they want. They want you to give up. They want you to stop, and whatever they've been doing in your bloodline, they want to just consume you, honey, and just have their way with Brandy and turn her into one of your many relatives, be a thought bopping hoe, mentally ill, narcissistic, Jezebel, whatever is in that bloodline, which, whatever, they're trying to do with you on that end. And it's just like, yeah, my spirit is tired. So, yeah. And y'all been talking. Let me see what y'all talking about. All right. Y'all take care.